come through. You know what I'm saying? Over here, I do live streaming, advertising, video graphic design, editing, music placement, etc. Got different package deals and stuff of that nature. But come over here, lock it in with me. Depending on what you got going on, maybe we could do a live stream. Let's talk about it. Or also do consultation of guidance, spiritual guidance and awareness, divine guidance and awareness. You already know the vibes. Let's build. Naga.
Well, alright. 2 times like I heard it twice. Took a deal, took a double price. So fuck it right. You can feel a chill, it's a cold at night. So hold tight. Twisting my thoughts like a hurricane. No gang like Wu-Tang. It's a method, man. A lot of things changed when the money came. Now you serve a cane. Yeah, I'm on the top on another lane. I can feel it deep like it's in my veins. Niggas stay low-key, know me. The boys in the hood, they know me. Look, my nigga, I'll never change. Look in the mirror, what do you see? I see your God, I see your king. I ran the blocks, I ran the streets. Stayed in the club, ran to a key. Broke for the lead, born to a king. Told my nigga he could rest in peace. What up, Slim? What up, Yee? That's some real OG, MAC. This black heart in these cold streets. Shit is deep. Told my nigga he could rest in peace. That's a real OG, that's real.
Going through some changes, did it work again. They don't understand, make them overstand. I ain't in the stands, turn them all to fans. Did what I can, know who I am. I'm going through changes, baby, take your time with me. I'm going through changes, they gon' have to wait and see. Put in the work and I get it, I did it all, just say that I did it.
Divine rising, supreme rising, evening and afternoon somewhere in the world. Divine rising, evening, somewhere in the world, and all of those parts, right? So let's get started. I am Naga, and today's topic is to turn your back on the truth is turning your back on the Most High. And the reason why I'm focusing on this particular topic right now is because there are so many little insignificance that, that little slight of agreement that most people deal with when coming to grips with a form of reality. And I see a lot of people, in the world come to social media or even around their friends and family. They speak to the particular understanding of a personal retrospect to an agreement, right? So the personal retrospect to an agreement, whether it's love, whether it's a relationship, whether it's friendship, or how you feel about somebody, that's not enough to stand on a lie. It's never enough to stand on a lie. It's never enough to protect anyone. It's never enough to look at a situation and say, well, I'm just going to go this way. No, that's you throwing away your whole spiritual energy. You're throwing it away. You're chucking it right in the trash. And it's very interesting because a lot of our culture and other cultures will debate the value of what's to be obtained before you standing on the retrospect of truth. You came into this world with nothing. The doctor slapped you on your behind, whatever you was, even if you was born by a midwife, you came out of the waters or whatever have you, however you came into this world, you came with nothing but your light that was given to you to have life. And that was your level of truth. If that truth wasn't stood on at that particular moment, you would not have life. I don't think divine meant for it to go in that direction. You were supposed to be trained into having this as a full ideal. Pardon me. Do God, 85, Supreme Rising, Cosmic Royal Family. Salute to you, brother, for coming through. I appreciate you showing up. It's always good to see good energy come in to support the divine message. And majority of the time, we make decisions based off particular feelings that we have or have had for people, places, and things, as if this is more important or more of a structure value than the value of serving the Most High, and what that entails for your image. Keep in mind, the children look at the image. They look at how you do things. They don't really listen to much of what you say. They kind of look at how you do it. And when they see how you do it, this is what they entail in their life. This is what they start to do because they're watching you do it. You'll have people that are what they like to use the word excommunicate. You know what I mean? That's like not conversating, not having you a part of situations, not having you in a conjunction that might be beneficial for a value because of their own lies that they're willing to hide. And then amongst that value, people who would agree to those values to protect the individual from their lies. These are all people who are walking in a demonic path. Whether they know it or not, the demonic path doesn't have to be horned demons or colorful skin with sharp teeth. This is not the demonic aspect that the world paints. The demonic aspect is dimming your light to the truth. And the more you dim your light to the truth, the more you bring in a level of darkness that doesn't solidify the clarity. See, the Most High said, I give thee light. And when he gave you light, you was able to see everything on the earth. You was able to see the sunrise. You was able to see the illuminate of what life had to offer. Okay, this was a subsequent value of the greatness of the Most High. And how we take this for granted is not by paying homage to the retrospect of what truth is and what truth has served us. If you discover truth, you must stand on that. It doesn't matter what you're connected to. If you discover truth, you must stand on that. But in falsified religions on the world, they put things in the text to have you drop the connection to the divine just to uphold a connection to something that is not divine. And I have a lot of different experiences and I have retrospects that people live by when it comes to these particular values. Most people stand up to them correctly, but then they will use them in a way to say, well, I'm not going against this, or I won't go against that. Well, if you won't go against it, you're going against the Most High. And that is your only option when standing on truth. Truth stands alone. The lie has to separate itself from truth just so it can have an existence. So if the lie is the dim light, the darkness within a person that they would choose to dim their light for, to use that as a characteristic, then automatically you're giving more power to the darkness. You're not giving light to it. You're changing in your light for darkness. It's like a trade in a sense, saying, I'll give you a piece of this light just so I can continue lying. I'll give you a piece of this light just so I can show up and deal in materialistic value. I'll give a piece of this light just so I can maintain something of momentary gain that does not serve my initial contract that divine had me here to serve in the first place. We all have discipline that we have to deal with. And the discipline is not going to come from your parents. It's not going to come from a church. It's not going to come from the structure of a person. It's going to come from the divine giving you the wherewithal and the understanding on how to move correctly. Shout out to Congo Watsu. I was watching his video this morning. He spoke to a lot of values that made certain things clear. And I always, me personally, as I was traveling through truth, I would see that things that are precious, they would fall in one or two particular aspects. Like maybe this person had this precious energy, or this person discovered something, but soon as the world get it, it is multiplied and is multiplied in a great range of separation, and that multiplicity allows it to become weak, because divine puts messages in each and every one of us. So therefore, each and every one of us in particular spaces around the whole planet can shine that light for the retrospect of truth. So there is no true pathway of going against the divine, but we all know this is spiritual warfare, right? So then I would have to question the value on particular people who automatically shoots down or holds on to a lie more to the value than uplifting a level of truth. I can't even listen to your conversation more or less because what you are promoting is the indifference to the divine. I don't have to say that you're lying. I just know that you're having an indifference to divine. If divine has laid truth here and you know this to be true, you can't call on your past to say, this is why I'm solidifying this as a notion. You can't say, because this is what I went through, this is why I'm doing this. That speaks to what you are. Even in that same right, if I look and I say, this is my family, or this is the person I love, or this is the job I'm working, or this is whatever I obtain, I can't say to myself, because I have this, I can't walk that way. No, I would have to burn it. I would have to chuck it. I would have to get rid of it because now it is not standing in the retrospect of truth. This is a faulty foundation. Everything or anything and everything that's built on a weak foundation that's not structured by the divine will fall eventually. And if you are holding on to what structure that is built on that faulty foundation and you don't want to let it go, you will fall with that building. You will fall with that concept. You will fall with whatever's built on that structure. This is the law of divine. This is not my law. This is just what I know to be true. And for the most part, I believe deeper than anything, this is what allows the cultures, the world, the propaganda, the misled, the manipulation, all these things that come into a play into an individual. This is what allows this retrospect to replicate in the world. Now, ultimately, it's almost like a catch-22. So if I can do this, and knowing that they say also in different religious aspects, they say divine will allow one to carry the lie on his tongue just to pull out the false. So then if I know divine is allowing these things to take place, he's only allowing it to take place to see if you're going to carry it as far as you are automatically, and also to see who else would attach to that. I got to know who else is in your group, who else is in your way of thinking. So therefore, if I'm going to purify something, I'm going to get the whole lot. I'm not going to get just a piece of it. When you're exterminating your house and you're ridding your house of mice and rats and rodents and stuff of that, you don't want to just attack one corner because you're not going to get everything. You got to get everything out of there. When in your life you start serving other things more than the Most High, you need to check yourself. If you hold anything over divine higher than divine because of what they're capable of, then you are in an illusion. You are in a confusion at that point. Anything that holds divine energy, you pay homage to divine through the individual that's carrying divine energy. That's the blessing. Just like you can recognize that in someone, divine wants you to recognize you can also have that. You can take this job on yourself by standing in truth. So with that being said, I believe majority of the time the work that we are doing in this world is restructuring the value of how we see things or how we relate to certain values before we initialize our action with these particular values. Not knowing that we are putting ourselves in a loop, you're going to suffer because of your choices. Your choices is what you're going against the divine, but in your mind, you may see this as a coupling with the circumstance that you was dealing with. No, everything is a spiritual test. You can't be fearful. You can't be fearful of losing things in your life. You can't be fearful of walking away from things that you subsequently signed up for, because divine is all. And if divine gave you something, he can replace that with something else. It doesn't matter your age, your time, your whatever situation you're dealing with. If you believe in divine, that will be given to you. What's taken away can be put back. You have to know this. And if you haven't gotten to that point of actually seeing this particular energy exist, this shows how much faith you had or how much belief you've had in the Most High. See, there's moments of falter in your mind. That's why they said idle. That's why they said your thoughts have to be guarded as well, because as you speak things into existence, your thought is that your mind is the catalyst to bring these things into fruition. So once I understand what I'm thinking has to be in line with truth, then I garner how I speak to people. Divine is trying to align us up with truth inside and out. How are you going to win when you're not right within? This is why I painted the Lauryn Hill picture. I actually painted a few of them. I love that woman so much because of her struggle and also her connection to the Most High. She held on to the Most High despite what the world was doing, despite what her teammates was doing, despite what the industry was trying to do to her. She held on to it and she lost a lot, but she still stayed close to the divine. And after it was all done and they dragged her through all of this situation with the people that she dealt with, she still overcame with truth. People would laugh because she had hearing aids and she wasn't the same person from as they known her, but divine rose her back to a status. I've seen this happen so many different times, and I would revel in this value. Like, wow, look at the Most High. We don't give the Most High the full attention to the value of truth in your life. Once it's almost like a cut. When you get a cut on your arm, as soon as it's healed, you don't pay attention to it no more. You don't even pick the scab. It's already healed. You're just like, oh, that's gone. I don't care about it no more. You don't put no attention into it because you need something to actually talk about to have a value indifferent to what's right. So unless it's bleeding, unless you have a crazy story, the car blew up, somebody got into a fight, somebody cursed someone out, someone stole something, someone did this or did that, you really don't have a story. You have nothing really to talk about. And that became interesting to me because I've always been a person to not want to really illuminate on negative things. I didn't want to give life to negative things. So I would speak away from it and speak more towards the truth of the matter. And divine would automatically try to remove the negative from me completely so therefore I can comprehend the level of truth. Comprehension is something different. You're learning a lesson, or are you pointing blame? Are you saying this is wrong, or are you saying that's how you should be? See, these things are interesting when you look at the double retrospect of the value. And I did like so many videos on contrast and involvement. And contrast, the world produces a fake value to what divine is saying, just so you'll slip in that cubbyhole. Peace, Queen Goddess. Welcome, welcome, Queen Goddess. Peace to you. I'm glad you are here. So divine's truth is there, but the world's retrospect of divine energy is the contrast to that. So we have an option. You'll get shown more of a value of the false energy opposed to the truth. And the truth may be right in front of your face, but it's not as glitz and glamorous. You might have to put some things down. You might have to walk away from some things that you had your heart set on. You might have to stand up in a way that most people are not used to seeing people stand up because they're apt to hold on to so many things in life. So when dealing with the non-truth sets to make an indifference in your character. They set to see the frowns in your face, the sadness, the well, you should have did this, like that type of energy. And at one point when I was younger, I felt like, you know what? Maybe I should have remained quiet. Maybe I should have. I don't feel like that anymore. I'm going to always speak to the truth. I don't give a damn at the end of the day. Like if you're doing something wrong, I'm going to speak to the truth. Like that's just what it is. I'm too old to play these mind games in life and actually uphold the image. And see, upholding the image has frequency. We give off a aura, we give off a vibe. The vibe comes off of us. How we feel every day. um Whether you're kind of melancholy, whether you're extra happy, or whatever particular emotion you may be dealing with, you irradiate that. Now, the different values that you may irradiate, that's okay, because you're supposed to be growing to the truth frequency. That truth frequency, when it comes off you, it stands in its own way because that's divine energy. The other frequencies are more familiar and they have levels to them: first, second, third, fourth, fifth, all those different levels. So it's kind of hard to see within a lie that is truth. This is what a lie does. It gives you different aspects to it. And you say, well, I kind of felt like, well, I thought, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and well, no, I can't because of, no, what you're doing is you're making excuses why you won't represent for the Most High. And these things start to take on different toll in life. People want to hide from their subsequent value. Have you heard people say, well, they did it too, or you can't talk about me because you're doing this? Well, this is the whole concept of the pot calling the kettle black. That's the whole retrospect of that value. But what if that pot decided to stand on the fact that it was black? Could it then call out that pot? Or the kettle, may I say? Could that pot call out the kettle if it stood on the fact that it's black? Because it said that there's a pot trying to call the kettle black. We're both burnt by soot. Okay, true. We are both burnt by life. We are burnt by the things that happen in life. But do I hold up to the value of the retrospect of falsity over truth? No, I have to call that out. So trying to make me feel a particular type of way about my shortcomings is not going to stop me from pointing out the heinous that goes against divine, especially if something's done to me directly. Divine wants people of courage. You have to have a light courage to actually uphold the light. How do you speak truth when you have levels of fear? What is fear? Fear is fear of losing something. Fear is fear of letting go. Fear is fear of standing up when you're supposed to stand for the Most High. Fear comes in so many different levels. People just don't want to put it down. You just don't want to let it go. You're like, I won't have nobody if I leave this person. If I tell the truth, I won't never. And so it doesn't matter. You came in this world with nothing. If divine seen fit for you to be this way, he would have put you in this world that way. This is why divine said, I will replace what had to be removed. I need to understand that this is me speaking for the people. You have to understand that in some attribute that what you're dealing with has a faulty foundation. Once you understand it, that's why it fell, then you can rebuild on a divine pretense. We're never going to get anything accomplished, right? Sitting there holding on to the value of woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? When divine is the only right way. Every time we go against the truth, we are putting down the ultimate bestow that divine has for us. I would rather be bestowed with divine trust and energy and gifts from the Most High before I accept something that's unstable. What's for me, it should be for me. And if it's for me, then it should not be touched. And if you went against truth, that means you've already chosen your path. I definitely don't want to be next to you when divine gives you your order of things. I don't want to be mixed in with that. So it might be ultimately the best value to separate, but I will be guided by divine, not by your word. See the contrast in this? I'll wait to be guided by the Most High. I'll wait to be told by the Most High. I'll wait to learn from the Most High. But when I let somebody else that's already chosen to go against the Most High and whatever value that is, now I'm walking away from truth. I cannot get out the bed without saying divine 10, 20 times. My feet hit the floor. I call on divine and say, thank you for allowing me to lay my feet back on your ground, Father. And I go, whatever I need to do after that. I start to entail like I'm sowing everything before I actually think about doing it. I say, thank you, Father, for giving me the opportunity to do this. Thank you, Father, for supplying this opportunity. Before I got on here, I sat on the side of the bed and I said, thank you, Father, for giving me this knowledge that you want me to pass to your creations. Only that I'm a conduit to serve in your truth. All glory be to the Most High. This is the disturbing thing when we start to give praise to everything lesser because of its actions. Well, I can't give praise to nothing. I can say thank you that divine was in your life to show me what you showed me. I can say here's a blessing towards the value of you continuing what divine has allowed you to do. This is me separating from giving more of a respect to an individual, place, or thing. They dropping bombs. It was like boom just now. So that separates me from giving more to a individual, place, or thing over than the truth of the Most High. We are attracted to things. The value in life sets the emotional concept to the materialistic things of life, to the glamour aspect of life. Everywhere you go, there's a woman twerking. There's a man playing a sexuality role. There's somebody that's overly gangster. There's somebody that's this or that and this and that. It's so many attributes that has nothing to do with the truth of the divine. And this is inhabitants. These things has inhabited the culture or the creation of the Most High. And this is going to be their wars that they fight in this spiritual battle. How are they going to separate from everything that they care so much about? You haven't been practicing on giving your time and your respect and your wherewithal to the truth of things. So all your decisions is going to satisfy that notion. This is everything else in the world. This is people who can't walk away from a lie. This is people who can't walk away from a gang. This is people who can't walk away from drugs. This is people who can't walk away from doing whatever Lord knows they do in this world that has nothing to do with truth. So why would I ask you from my sincerity, when are you going to stop? Why would I ask you from my sincerity, why didn't you choose me? Why would I ask you from some place in my heart to return what you've taken from me? Why would I try to come to someone and ask for an apology? You intended what you did. It is out of my hands at that point. I have pretty much nothing to say. And the only thing you possibly could say to me is come to me in a divine manner and fix anything. I'm not going to request nothing. I'm not going to call. I'm not going to ask. I may come to my family. That's something different because you know why? That's my family. And the Most High said, when your family comes to you for a glass of water, you give them a glass of water. This is in scripture. This is in every single pretense in existence. So when you deny your family, you are denying divine. You are connected through a vine, through a line. This is service too. So you mean to tell me on a vine that comes from a tree or from a root system, the water doesn't go from one point to the tip of that vine? It allows every single leaf to absorb this. This was set into motion. The vine doesn't make mistakes. We don't pay attention to the natural order of things. So you can make a decision against me, believing that you are stopping something that particularly may grow, but you are only digging your hole that much deeper. My lawyer, my judge, my executioner is divine. I don't worry. I don't walk around in this world thinking about what's going to happen. I used to say this back in the day. Y'all can worry about those people. The authority of mine is divine. I'm only worrying about God. If God want me to stop, you know what? It'll just happen. Period. Divine loved me so much, and I'm gonna show you something. Divine loved me so much that he allowed me to do certain things just so I can get the understanding. People used to beg me, and y'all would have heard me say, if you've been watching me, you heard me say on lives, I'm never gonna stop smoking weed. You might have heard me say that 1,000,001 times, like, nah, I'm gonna smoke. That's what I'm gonna do. Ain't nobody gonna stop me from smoking. It's natural, it come from the earth. This is what I'm gonna do. But I was watching Congo, and Congo said something that was real deep to me. It was one particular part in his life that stood out to me so heavenly. And this is something that I truly believe in more than anything. When they took the natural part and they made it to where everyone can have a part of it, they started producing it how they wanted to produce it. They started growing it how they wanted to grow it. They started adding things to it to make it of what it was. Now a lie don't care who tell it. So before this was even put into motion, right? Before they made it legal, it was natural. So when it was natural, they would say everything in the term of it being a lie. Okay, they would speak to it in a lie form, right? This is when it was natural, before anybody was dispensarying anywhere, before any of that. It was a lower content, right? But it still served the purpose. This is the contrast. You heard me speak in the very beginning of this. When we have something given to us by the divine, it is pure in that form. What happens is the world gets it and they replicate it in their own value, which now takes the light from it. I have not been participating in smoking like I would normally be the last few weeks, right? Like I'm kind of like weaning off. Even if I was to smoke, I gotta like dim it down with so many other things because the stuff the world has is different. And then I automatically don't even want to do it. Like I push and keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. And before, my ADHD was so high, I'm like, Divine, I need something to slow my mind down. The messages that you're giving me is too much. I can't download them all. So as these things was taking place, and this has been over a period of years, as these things are taking place, Divine was tuning how I would get the knowledge. This is me communicating with the Most High and my personal problems. This is not me going to nobody doing whatever. This is me literally communicating with the Most High directly. Like I want to stay within the truth, but I can't stay in the truth because I can't function. My physical is weak, Father. Ooh, I'm getting the ringing in my ear right now. I'm telling the Father, I'm agreeing with the process of how I'm created. I'm weak, and the only way I'll be strengthened is in the name of the Most High. Please, Father, strengthen me in this weakened vessel so therefore I can be stronger in a way to serve your word. My ADHD started tightening. It wasn't so effective when I didn't do things. I didn't need to smoke before I eat. I didn't need to smoke before I did this. I did that. Divine would help me directly. And see, this is what I mean by like you have to give divine a full shot, right? Right? You have to give divine a full shot. Like you can't give divine a partial connection. You know what I'm saying? Let divine give you this world that you're trying to live and experience. Divine said, I'll give you the desires of your heart if you let me guide you through this. But if you let the world give it to you, they're going to give you something else. And then divine is like, that's not how I wanted you to experience that. The elders that we have in our lives, right? The elders, they go through a certain point of their lives. And I can't really speak much for the ones today, but I know the ones of old, they went so far through their lives that they was able to look at their lives and give you the best understanding for the time where you were because of what they have already lost and gained. And they had an understanding for those losses and gains. Other people might have held them at a certain regard because of losses and gains and blamed them for particular things, automatically not gaining the level of truth or forgiveness from the Most High. So now you carry an integrity base that's already based on you going against God because you haven't even picked up the values that divine has allowed you to understand truth with. It's like they're tools. It's like these little things the divine gets you to try to focus on. It's like they're tools. They're tools to get you to understand how and what you are supposed to, how and who you're supposed to connect to with these certain values. Certain people are never going to change. That's discernment, right? Divine is always going to be there. That's how. So once I completely understand this retrospect, even though it feels like nothing's happening, it's been so long, nothing's moving. Well, in your mind, are you waiting for something to happen, or are you truly connected to the divine? Because if in your mind you're solidified with the value that divine is going to do whatever he do in this timely manner, that time might just disappear because you're not waiting on something to happen. You're connected to the fact that divine got you. You're not trying to obtain something. You're holding on to the true value of the Most High, which makes whatever you're trying to obtain turn into the value that serves you best. You will never get here unless you give divine a shot. You're too busy giving the shots to everything that is not divine. But hey, look at the world we live in today. Everybody and their mama call themselves God. I don't mind that people call me good names. But what I do when I hear these names is I give that praise to the Most High. If you seen how many times I pray in a day, y'all be like, ain't no way in the world this man literally pray that much in a day. Sometimes I get anxiety and I gotta go pray. I literally gotta go outside, find me a sunny spot, and sit on the ground barefoot and just sit there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm praying the whole time. I don't stop praying. I'm talking directly to the Most High. I make it a habit to go sit with my Father. So, only thing I'm saying right now is it's never gonna be more important to choose the direction of what the world has to offer over allowing the divine to give you really what the world has to offer. And I know that sounds like a misnomer, but it's not, because the world is only conducting the value of how they think divine gives it, which satisfies what? It satisfies the, what's the word I'm looking for? The settle. You know how we settle for things so fast? So they trying to make it colorful. They try to make it smell good. They try to make it dress it up nice. And we all know that even on every commercial you ever seen a burger or a McDonald's or whatever, we know that food was frozen. Demetria Johnson, how are you doing? Nice to see you in the chat. We know growing up that every advertising propaganda, most of that stuff on TV was fake, but they made it look good just so you would go and buy it. That's the same thing as a lie. A lie doesn't change from its value. It may be tall, dark, and slender. You know what I'm saying? It may be big and brolic with all the ribbons in the world, but it's still a lie. It may have the best body and no clothes on every single social media. Why would I want that? You're giving away everything precious. like like I don't understand. This is why I started like lately I started noticing that, and I said, what is jealousy really? Like, what is truly jealousy? And I started knowing that jealousy was an actual demonic disease. It's not like it's not what people think it is. Jealousy is like a mental disease, right? So what happens is you want something to be the way that you want it to entail by its actions. You can't change something's actions. So if you choose to go against truth and you still chase the thing that chooses to go against truth, what does that say about you? I'm just saying, like, at some point you got to have clarity in your mind. Like, are you going to just like throw away truth because nah, yo, you gonna do right by me. They might not do right by you, but me trying to force you to do that is not something I'm into. I'd rather let divine handle that. I'll let you believe whatever you want to believe in the world. And I say, well, divine, that's up to you. You said this is your war. Right, the key. That's the key. You know what I'm saying? That's the ultimate key to it. Like, I have no smoke for nothing. I don't want no beef. If that's what you choose to do, all right, fine. But take that energy with you, because I'm gonna call on the Most High right now to let him know what I just experienced. And it's a fact. That's my whole connection to the whole thing. I'm gonna say, Father, listen, I don't know what that energy was, but I didn't like it. And if you have something for me to learn from that, I'd rather you teach me directly, because I don't know what that was. And it didn't feel right, Father. And I need you to give me clarity on these things, because only with you that I can find clarity on anything in this crazy world, Father. I pray to you. I'm in my vulnerable state. I pray to you in all my my imperfection, Father. Please bring me the knowledge that I need to see your word clear. And I always get seen truth. It doesn't even matter. I get strengthened in truth. Even if you don't have, people are so enamored with having, having, having. I can't go without. Da 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 da. This is not true. That is going to be the greatest touch to everybody, because sooner or later you're going to have to go without, so you can prove to yourself that you got faith for the Most High and allow Most High to give you what you think you need. So yeah, it's that type of smoke. It's that type of smoke day. You know what I'm saying? So to turn your back on the truth is turning your back on the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just the bottom line with everything. People are like, I don't know why this didn't work. It wasn't gonna work. You thought you was gonna do, right? Thank you. Yes, 11, 11, 11. We on fire. Salute, Queen. You already know the vibes. You know what I'm saying? In the name of the Most High all the time. You know what I'm saying? We on point. So these values, yo, are only strengthening us, the size and stuff. And you know what? I'm glad you did that, because that right there is particular. Like, I've been noticing when I get certain particular pieces of knowledge and I focus on them to get the whole class, and I happen to look at a synchronicity, it's angel numbers popping up everywhere. They're like, yeah, we had the whole book laid out for you. Like, just in case you didn't know you was about to go through this, it's here it is on 111 page or 222 page or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's powerful like that. And I get a chance to document that like I'm taking notes. So I thought that was interesting. You know what I mean? I thought that was pretty dope. And it's nothing to be aggressed about. It's nothing to be angry about. It's nothing to go hard about. You're gonna have sadness, and the sadness that's leaving your body is the reason you held on to those addictions. So when you have the sadness, right? When you have the sadness, that's just another form of death in character that you've been holding on to. So this is where the sadness comes from. This is why people like, I don't like the feeling of having that go away from me. I remember when my great grandmother died, my grandfather's mom. And me and my grandfather was mad tight. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather wanted to kill me this day. Like, he wanted to kill me because we was in the church and they was about to have a funeral or whatever. I was sitting next to my stepbrother, and he was crying, he was slapping the the furniture in the church or whatever, like the long wooden bitches. And he was upset. And I remember the day before, you know, well, like the week before, a few days before she died, I sat in the room with her, and she was telling me how she had asked my aunt Kat to come bring her something to eat, and Kat didn't come bring her the food. Nobody cared. They didn't change her portable toilet out, and she felt like she didn't care. She like, nobody cares. She like, they wrecked my house. She was talking a lot of trash. She was like, they did this, they did that. And she was like, nobody cares. I can't wait to die. This is my great grandmother saying this. I was literally like probably 13, probably 14 years old. I think I was 14. And she was like, she was ready to go. And I was like, Grandma, I love you. I'm here right now. I came all the way from down south. And she was like, boy, like she was like, didn't even want to hear the love, like, you know what I'm saying? And I wonder where I get that from, right? Like, if you don't show me love ever, if I'm going through stuff in life, you know what I'm saying, I never hear from you, never got a call from you, you know what I'm saying? Like, not a letter, not a nothing, not a seagull came through and dropped a note, a pigeon flew through the window, like nothing. A message through somebody, like I didn't get nothing from you. I'm not gonna consider the fact that you give anything about me. So if you tell me later, like a long time comes up and then I hear from you, and you're like, I love you, it's gonna break my heart to hear that as a lie, and I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna get upset because I take love very seriously. I take love seriously. I love truly. Divine has taught me how to keep my heart open instead of having my heart closed off. So when I love someone, I love deeply. That is not just a person I love. That's my everything. Whether that's my family, whether that's my woman, whether that's my job, whether that's the thing that I'm doing, whether that's whatever it is. If I love it all the way. And I'm going to fight for that because that is the truth that divine allowed me to have. Whether that being taken out of contents and being distorted on one side, divine also gives me the power. And I used to call this razor blade cutting. I'll slice it right off, cut the arm right off with a razor blade. It got to go. Give me some fire so I can cauterize this cut real quick. And cut the arm right off. Now it's gone. You don't care. That arm is gone. It's severed off. No, I don't feel nothing because the arm is gone. Me doing it the first time was what I was supposed to do. I'm not going to, I don't need a, let's make this better. I may be the one saying that. That might be me in the relationship. All right, I forgive you. Let's make this better. Divine was like, why you keep giving people chances? I'm not gonna give you no chances. You was doing it right the first time, but you messed up. You gotta repent. You have to repent when you make stuff bad. That means you have to fix what you messed up. You have to pray for the forgiveness. That means you have to be true on what you messed up on. You can't go and say, oh, divine, yeah, I shot him, but the reason why I shot him was this. Can you forgive me? You know what I'm saying? Divine ain't gonna be like, sure, son, I understand. That is not happening, yo. That is not happening at all. It'll never happen. You have to be honest with yourself and complete. And if you're not honest with yourself and complete, you got lessons that you have to learn. All right. So this is where this knowledge starts to come in at is you really truly standing on your truth. So, only thing I'm doing when I come to you guys is I'm walking through my life, good, bad, and indifferent, and I'm standing on my truth. If I was to actually go into a dialogue about the things that happen in my life, you guys will cry. You'll cry. You'll probably call authorities. You'll be like, and these people are still here. Like, y'all be like, ain't no, we is not letting this happen to you. No. Like somebody will get mad if I actually tell you the things I've been through in my life. But divine is giving me something to take away the negative feelings and for me to still feel happy and at peace no matter what circumstance I'm in. And that to me is a level of royalty because divine is not going to let me falter, especially when I'm trying to strive and go through this life that's imperfect with the truth connection to the Father. I don't want nothing else besides that but the truth. Like, and I might even make it look hood. Like I might have this whole urban way about myself. That's because I'm hip hop born. I was born in 79. I grew up through the 80s, you know what I'm saying, in the 90s. Like I grew up with the real levels of hip hop. So the jokes, the funny, having, just having this whole thing about life. Like we made life look good. Baggy pants, big shirts. Like we didn't care. Cartoon characters on your t-shirt. Like that was style to us. It wasn't about Armani or Moschino and Iceberg until you got older and then you felt tempted to try to impress people with money. But that left too. So people be like, "Oh, you don't dress like you have this, or you don't look like you have that." I don't give a damn. For real. Like that's a lost conversation with me. Like people be like, "No, because of this." All right, good, great. That means you're not supposed to be in my life if that's how you feel. Like, I'm sorry. You can't love me for who I am, then you can't love me at all. I don't feel like a loss. I don't even. I remember back in the day, I used to be just like me. I remember me and my cousins and my brothers. We would sit outside when we was up north, right? We'd sit outside and cars would pass down the street, and we'd be like, "That's my car. That's my car. That's my car. No, that's my car." You know what I'm saying? We'd be like that as kids, right? And as you get older, it's the same thing. Oh, she gorgeous. Look at her body. Da 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 da. And then her face might look like a horse. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, I don't want her now because you was outside of your body judging things. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I learned faster, like at a certain age. I stopped looking at the surface value of stuff. I stopped looking at what's greater. I would create greatness because divine made me great. She said, yes, 84. What's 84? What is 84? What is 84, Shaquilla? What is that? You just threw me for a loop real quick. She's like, yes, 84. All right. Anyway, so yeah, I started looking at the value of things in life. Like I didn't care about what you and I might have been opposite at some point in my life. You know what I'm saying? I might have been indifferent to that. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was younger, I might have looked at for what a person can bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? But now I look at the truth value because truth is gonna allow me in any circumstance. Oh, you was born in 80. Oh, born in 84. Right. I got you. You know what? My mind went left. I was about to say, yo, was she talking about a clothing line? Because I remember this clothes that was called Lot. I think it was Lot. Was it Lot? Six Lot. Hold on. Lot 73 or something like that. Like I remember this clothing line that was pretty fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, yo, she talking about the clothing line, but I couldn't remember the number. I know they got like the jeans that had like I think it was 64 jeans or something like that. Like it was different things that had numbers on them. So I really thought you was talking about you was like, yes, 84. Salute to you, Quay. You already know the vibes. My mind be in different places. Like I'm all the way out the loop sometimes. Like I'll be like, I don't know, yo. Like I be hearing the new slang today. Like I remember I was online. I'm not getting off topic. I'm just veering a little bit. I was online one day and it was the first time I seen the word sneaky link. And I was like, what is that? What is that? A new breakfast sausage or some shit? Like, what is that? Like a new break? Like, what is sneaky links? Like, what is that? Everybody was laughing at me because I put it in the comment. I was like, what is a sneaky link? Is that a new breakfast sausage or something? Everybody started laughing down the whole timeline. I'm like, oh my God, what did I say that was wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I just said it. I said the first thing I thought, you know what I'm saying? And everybody's like, no, it means this. And I was like, oh my God, no, I need to get off this page because I didn't know what the hell y'all was talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it was funny, like my brain being in different places. But yeah, like when it comes to me now, I look at the value of a person because I have skills. So my skills attached to the value of a person who's true, we're gonna go a long way. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna always go a long way. And majority of the time, if you show people that divine has bestowed you with particular skills, they look to sit with your skills and kind of just hope to gain off that opposed to putting the effort in. There's no relationship that's ever gonna work like that. I don't care if it's a job, I don't care. People tend to put their best foot forward. And once you get to the truth of them, it's not good. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact, Demetria. And this is the difference when it comes to letting divine guide you to certain things. See, that's what I was speaking about earlier. You make choices, and the choices that you make are majority of the time a part tied to what you want in life. This is the flesh activating, in sin, right? But if I see myself wanting something and I say, divine, I have an overwhelming urge for this at this moment. Will you guide my heart in the right place so therefore I don't make the wrong decision? And what happens is that thing might just go away. I'll tell you a story, and this is a real story. This just happened recently. I was staying in a hotel, and this lady at the pizza shop was very interested in me, right? She told me, I'll give you a job here and da 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 and all this. And I'm like, yo, I need a job. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, yo, how am I going to stay in a hotel if I don't get paid until like next 2 weeks? I'm like, they're not going to give me a 2 week reprieve at the hotel. Like, this is not going to work. This is probably like a couple months ago, right? So it's back in like early June or whatever. So I'm like, okay. She's like, yeah, come down, fill up the application or whatever. So then I'm telling them about, before I started dropping knowledge or whatever, I'm telling them about the advertising business that I do. You know what I mean? That I advertise for companies. Like, I got the social media aspect. I know how to take you viral, da 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 da. Your money's gonna work for you. All this good stuff, right? So then they was kind of like cutting the conversation to hear about the knowledge aspect of things. So I was like, okay, we started talking about the knowledge. And the one lady was like, I've never been captivated by a man who spoke like this. And I was like, well, the knowledge of God will do that to people sometimes. You know what I mean? I'm being humble and modest. So I hugged both of the ladies. I'm like, oh, this has been a great meeting. You know what I'm saying? I hugged them both. I'm like, I'm happy I had the chance to conversate about the Most High to you, wonderful women. Now, unbeknownst to me, the one lady was married. So she says to me the next day, she wanted to get to know me a little bit better and all this, that, and the third. On the third day, she told me she was married. And I said, I cannot do this. You're married. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, you should have said that before we even got started, because I actually feel guilty right now. You know what I mean? I don't care if your man does you dirty or whatever. That has nothing to do with me. I'm not doing what you guys do. That's like you pulling me into your energy. Now, I'm not responsible for none of that. I don't even want to be responsible for none of that. So she was like, can we just be friends then? I was like, well, I'm friends with people, but what do you mean by friends? You know what I'm saying? Like, so we had a conversation here and there. We never got into being in the same room privately, right? So one day she was like, she was gonna come to my hotel room and she was gonna see me, but she was gonna bring me some pizza and some wings and all this other stuff. Now at this point, I'm bad off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have nothing. I'm like lost so much weight. I was probably like 130 something pounds. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I need to eat some food. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was real bad. So when she was coming or on her way, I got this really bad feeling like I was actually seeing what was going to take place before it took place, like how it was going to happen, right? And I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm sitting in my room, like, I ain't doing that. I'm not about to give myself to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what was my thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Sitting to myself. And then I prayed about it. I said, Divine, I need the food, but I don't want to be rude. How do I do both? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do I get what I need without putting myself in infidelity? This woman is married. So I prayed about it. And the time she was supposed to come, I had enough time to take a nap. So after I prayed about it, I laid down on it. Literally, I laid down and took a nap. And it wasn't even hard. It was like I was meant to go to sleep just to let that prayer that I had actually go to the ether. You know what I mean? So I laid down, I slept. I woke up literally 15 minutes before she called to tell me that she was on her way. And I felt at peace. It was like what was already supposed to happen was already done, right? So she pulls up and she says, Here, take the food, take the food. I can't come upstairs. I got something else I got to do." And I was like, "Okay, cool." I was like, "Great. That's actually awesome." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "I appreciate this so much. Thank you." And when I took the food, right, I was walking away, but I felt her staring at me through the back. I felt her looking at me like, and I don't know. I don't know if it was the demon energy, the dim on energy, or was it her realizing what just happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what that energy was, but Divine said, and you can take this from Lot and his wife. Divine said, "Do not look back. Keep walking." And keep walking, right? So and it was something, it was pulling me, something wanted me to turn around, right? Like almost like it wanted me to turn around and look at her for her outside image so I can be more in the oh man, can you come back? I still want you to come upstairs, and like the whole demonic energy, right? Dim on energy. I never looked back. I took the food and kept walking. And I went upstairs to my room and I ate the food. It lasted for me for about 2 days, 3 days. You know what I'm saying? How much food I had, you know what I'm saying? So at the time I wasn't eating much anyway. I was eating small portions. So I was able to stretch that in between 3 days of food. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, wow, that was interesting. But following the concept, her husband took them out of town. And Divine was like, see, now you don't have to deal with it at all. And that's because I prayed for it. So then when this duration was coming to an end, I was able to kindly say to the person, you know what, I appreciate what you did for me and everything, but your situation is not something I want to be a part of. And I'm actually practicing abstinence. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not giving myself to no one. You know what I'm saying? So more or less, we just can't be friends at all. You know what I'm saying? And I think she was hurt behind that value. And it's never my intentions to hurt anyone, but automatically, if I have to hurt your feelings by letting you off easy to serve the Most High, that's what I'm going to do. And that's why I stood with that. And that gave me more faith in Divine for immediate things. I've told a story before in my life when I got cut up and people tried to kill me when I was in New York. I got like stabbed in my arm. I got like razor blade cuts in my arms and in my elbows, and I had one in my face because I was literally blocking blades like this with my arms, right? So the stuff I went through at that time was highly detrimental as a young person. But Divine delivered me in a way because I wanted to get revenge. I wanted it so bad, and Divine kept telling me to let it go, let it go. I will deliver it. And it took about 3 years for me to actually let it go. And when I finally let it go, and the day I let it, like the day it was clear out of my mind and I didn't think about it at all, it was delivered right in front of me. And Divine was like, this is what I need you to do all the time. I need you to learn to let go and let me give you life so you can experience it the right way. So now it doesn't matter what I do in life. If I'm helping someone go do something, like I'm going to ask Divine to give me the strength because my body is weak. We are all weak individuals, no matter how egotistical you are about what you are or how you see yourself. No, I don't give a damn where you come from, who you connected to. If Mike Tyson's your damn daddy, I don't give a damn at the end of the day. If you don't do it with the Divine, it will show you your inadequacy. So I'm only great within the Most High. I'm only weak without him. And this is the truth. So once I stand in those values, other people have to fight to prove that they're great. With the Divine, I have nothing to prove. I get to stand on truth. And this is why my topic today was to turn your back to truth is turning your back on the Most High. You have to decide what part of this life that you want to live. And it's not going to be all Bible thumping and square ways and, hats and cups. Like, it's not going to be all that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be you having a personal relationship with your creator and getting to the deepest understanding. Most people are so afraid on the inside of themselves. You think God can't see what's really going on with you. You lie and you hide and you cheat so much, you think that you're the only one that knows these things. Like, I'm embarrassed because I like to be like this. Or I can't give myself to the Most High because I'm still getting money. And You don't think divine knows all this idiocy about you? You don't think divine knows the ins and outs of everything about your toes stink? You ain't wash your ass yesterday. You ain't brush your teeth. Like whatever. Like have faith, more faith, in not just the biblical aspect of what this entails. Have faith to the value that when needed, divine will be there for you. And whatever that means, this is miracles upon miracles, if that's what you want to call them. But when in fact, it's just divine energy. I had a thought the other day, right? And I'm always watching, like, it always run across my face, like how the world shows the contrast. Like they push it in your face so much, right? So they're like, I'm watching, I'm on YouTube and it's like these different things popping up on my timeline. And it's like, um the end of the world is now, in the movie, the world is coming to an end. Right? And then they say stuff like, um this is going to end everything. Like, and these things are coming out of the sky. Like they do so much fear mongering, right? So I'm like, yo, these people are crazy, right? And a thought hit me, yo. It was so weird. I'm sitting there watching this one thing that's coming on, and it's like the end of the world, right, or whatever. And they had like this whole, I don't know, this whole thing of how it's supposed to be happening. And what popped in my head was, soon as they think they destroy everything divine did, divine gonna reverse time. Right? Divine gonna reverse time, remove everybody who played a role in this destruction. Right? Speed time back up, fix the earth, and put you back in motion. And you're gonna be like, wait a minute, what happened? I thought it was over. Yeah, you thought wrong, yo, because this is almighty power. Like this is like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like you believe that what you think you're doing is happening. You think that you are. I'm like, yo, this is how divine works. Like it doesn't even matter. Like, why do you care about what somebody has to say or do? Like, I laugh so much now. Like everything is funny to me. I'll be like, everything is funny to me. I'll be like, yeah, okay, sure. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I lost. Hey, all right. Who gives a shit at the end of the day? Like, you know what I'm saying? That and still, like, I'm a man, I'm imperfect. So I look at things, I see things that are attractive or that looks nice or is cool, but I don't be like, oh my God, this is da 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 da. I see it in my mind, you know what I mean? I see it in my mind. I have that thought and I let it go. Just like if I see a flower on the ground and the flower is beautiful, I don't go pick it out of the ground. I watch it from where it is and I leave it and I keep going. Then later on, sometime in a week, I can express that to someone. Yo, I seen the most beautifulest flower I ever seen in my life. I had the best experience I ever had in my life. Divine has guided me through this, and this has happened. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a better understanding. Right. Right. You don't lust, you manifest and attract. So it doesn't even matter about falling into the value of what the world has to offer. This is why the world allows these things to be so plentiful. Look at all the commercials you get. You can work from home and make tons of money right now. I've been to like 1,000 one of those websites trying to get started, and none of them except me. I'm unqualified for all of that stuff. I'm like, so how y'all lying? Lust isn't just sexual. People lust for much more than just sex. That's a fact. That is a big fact. Lustful mentality. That's what they call a lustful heart. You know what I mean? Lustful character. You know, people deal in these things not understanding the particular energy that you're carrying, even when you don't want to let go to certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like divine, like let it go and I will make it better for you. So that's why the song DMX made. Remember back in the day, we like love that, let it go. When it come back, that's how strong it really is. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, shout out to DMX. You know what I'm saying? Give it to the Most High, and if it comes back, that was meant for you to have. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be afraid to be just you. You can't be afraid to be alone. You came here by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You came in by yourself and you developed a whole bunch of things in the middle of being here. You know what I mean? And all the stuff you developed, that doesn't make you. That's just the stuff you picked up on your turtle shell. You know what I'm saying? Like now you're carrying on your turtle shell. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. But if I allow divine to carry some of this stuff for me, it lightens the load and I get to see what really matters that I all right. Love you guys. Oh, it's back. It's back. It's back. Okay, it's back. Okay, I love you guys. I don't know if you was able to see that little ending part right there, but yeah, they was messing with the stream. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end it out because I think we got to the point of the matter. And we had 11:11. Yo, Shaquilla, we had 11:11:11 on the clock right now. Look at that. Fire. Fire. That's we ending it out on the 11th. So that's beautiful. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna hold y'all. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I hope y'all have a divine rest of your day. You know what I'm saying? And just let the Most High guide you through all your decisions. And I promise it'll work out. Believe any, if you don't believe nothing I say, believe divine got you. Trust and believe that. All right? Naga.